Okay, getting near the end of day two. It's about 7:30, and since I'm planning on checking in every day, I just thought I'd get on and review the day. And let's see, I was good in the morning, but I drank a lot of coffee, a lot of black coffee, strong black coffee, because I like coffee. It gives me that like boost. I don't really feel like that I need it. I just, like to drink it. And once I did that, I think it was so acidic to my stomach that, after a little period after that, I felt real hunger, like really hungry. And, but, I remembered, I went into the fridge and I had my prepared juices and I just mixed up some juice and I drank juice. I exercised today too, which was great. And I would drink a little juice in between sessions to boost my energy. So that worked out well, and I was also glad I was exercising because, you know, it takes me much longer than it should. I have visions of not getting up, bounding out of bed, knocking out the exercise, and then having the rest of my day. But I'm just such a slow starter that it's almost like feels cruel, cruel and unusual punishment. And I just, you know, it tends to get pushed off. And then in the middle of the day, it seems like it takes up a lot of time. But I get it done, and that's the most important part since it is on my list. Gary came over and we'd been looking for rice. He brought me a nice 20-pound bag of rice. And we had a little scare with his possible, the place where he was working. A guy who had the virus was over, and so I woke up with like this realization. I had heard this last night, and this morning I woke up and it was like, oh, I see. The place where you work is infected, perhaps. So I called him and talked to him about it, and we worked through it. And as it turned out, later he called, and everybody who was at this party where this infected guy was, there's only one of three people in the whole county his county that were tested positive. But just so happened that he came to a party at this place where Gary's working. He's putting a deck on the property to hold a whirlpool. It's a really nice little place on the river. But anyway, so everybody, kind of had a moment of awareness, and they are all self-isolating, which is great, so that was good. But I expressed my concern. So then, around 5 o'clock, Gary called me and he said, this might not be the best time to go on a juice fast. I said, why? And he said, because you got your vegetables, people pick them up and put them down. And I said, yeah, I know. And I told him I washed them. But the reality was I sort of made a decision. I had really considered that about vegetables because, it's a possibility, fruit pickers, vegetable pickers, I doubt if they wear plastic gloves. So I just made that decision that was, something I was willing to deal with. And the other thing was this, coincidentally, this evening, somebody sent me a video by a Dr. Sharma, and he talked about the role of immunity in an epidemic, especially like the one we have, where there is a huge curve in terms of the way people are affected. And the fact of the matter is, I might have even had it, a couple weeks ago when I had that cold. I even think, speculated when I heard about the virus that perhaps I had it last fall because I had all the symptoms. Not all of them. I don't think I had a temperature. I didn't check, but I had a whopper last fall. But I don't know if that's true or not. We're in such a state of unknowing because respiratory problems are, it's pretty common. The other thing is I've been realizing is how much I touch my face and my nose, and that could be why I am susceptible to colds and flus. So that's another little piece of the puzzle. But Gary and I talked about it, and I just said no. I'm going to go ahead with the juice fast. And after listening to Dr. Sharma talk about immunity and the body's ability to fight off any outside contaminants, I'm just going through with it because this is the way that I keep myself healthy in general. This and other ways, I'm taking my vitamins, I exercise, all that stuff. And at a certain point, there's only so much you can do because I'm not going to stop eating fresh fruits and vegetables. I do not think that would be wise. Yeah. So that was that. And I kept, taking as much juice as I needed to stave off the hunger. And to me, that's really the ticket with juice fasting is just don't allow yourself to get too hungry because then the thoughts start coming in about food. And also I was reflecting on the fact that I was actually happy I was juicing. Once again, because juicing gives a contrast to eating. If one is always eating, it's not like it's special. And I was listening to someone, I know, it was at the finale of that book, Big Brother, that talks about food, and she made a larger point that humans are meant to be hungry. They're meant to experience hunger. They're not supposed to have constant satiety. They're not always supposed to have satiation. It's an unnatural state. So the juice fasting, it is a contrast to eating. And the reality is that once I start eating, it's just eating. It's just something I've done my entire life. And one gets used to it and takes it for granted very quickly. So this period of not taking it for granted, to have it something that I look forward to, it puts it in a place that allows me to appreciate food, to appreciate just having a meal. And I was listening to another book by Lionel Shriver, and in it she talked about they were going to a restaurant that had a killer bowl of chili, and I thought, yeah, when I go off my diet, I will make a killer bowl of chili. Be vegetarian, but killer bowl of chili usually comes with like baby melted cheese or like bread. I don't eat bread, but I don't know. That's something to look forward to. But, I'm not obsessing about it. And I'm happy that I'm doing this. I'm happy that I'm almost through day 2. Days, they just tick off. Next thing you know, you're there and you're eating again. So I'm really enjoying this time period. I'm